Her words have always inspired me to seek simplicity and joy in the little things. This morning, as I sit in my tiny haven, I feel a deep sense of contentment. The first rays of sunlight gently nudge me awake. It's a soft, natural alarm that feels like a warm embrace from nature itself. The birds are already singing their cheerful song. Their melodies are like a morning symphony, welcoming the new day with open wings and joyful hearts. I take a deep breath and feel the cool morning air fill my lungs. It's refreshing, invigorating, and a reminder of the purity that surrounds me. My tiny house is nestled in the woods, surrounded by nature's beauty. This is my sanctuary. Every corner of this space is a reflection of my journey toward minimalism and mindfulness. I start my day with a cup of herbal tea, brewed with fresh mint from my garden. The aroma is soothing, and each sip feels like a gentle hug, warming me from the inside out. No alarm clock needed here. The natural rhythm of the world around me sets the pace for my day, allowing me to wake up gently and with purpose. The rhythm of the sun dictates my schedule. As it rises, so do I, and as it sets, I find myself winding down in harmony with the natural world. I feel so grateful for this peaceful start to my day. Each morning is a new opportunity to embrace the simplicity and beauty of life. It's a far cry from the rushed mornings I used to have. Now, my mornings are slow, intentional, and filled with moments of quiet reflection. Before moving into my tiny house, I never imagined such tranquility. The hustle and bustle of city life seemed like the only way to live. My old life was filled with the noise of the city and the demands of a corporate job. Now, I am present. I am free. The contrast is stark, and I wouldn't trade this serenity for anything. Each morning, I take a moment to journal my thoughts. It's a practice that helps me stay grounded and connected to my inner self. Tending to my garden is another cherished part of my routine. Watching the plants grow and thrive under my care brings a sense of accomplishment and joy. Meditation in the midst of nature allows me to center myself and find inner peace. The sounds of the forest, the rustling leaves, and the distant call of birds create a perfect backdrop for mindfulness. Breakfast is a simple affair, often enjoyed outside where I can soak in the morning sun. It's a time to nourish my body and appreciate the abundance around me. As I go about my morning, I can't help but smile. This tiny haven has given me a life of simplicity, peace, and profound happiness. The decision to leave my secure job wasn't easy. It felt risky and unconventional. But deep down, I craved something more. I yearned for a life aligned with my values: simplicity, sustainability, and creativity. The corporate world felt stifling. The long hours and endless meetings left me drained and uninspired. I knew there had to be a better way, a way to live a more meaningful life. So I took a leap of faith. I decided to downsize my possessions, build a tiny house, and embrace a more self-sufficient lifestyle. It was a radical change, but I was determined to create a life I loved. Building my tiny house was an adventure. It was a journey that began with a dream and a sketch. I remember the first time I put pencil to paper, imagining the possibilities of what my tiny home could be. The excitement was palpable, and I could hardly wait to get started. Every step from designing the layout to choosing sustainable materials filled me with a sense of purpose. I spent countless hours researching eco-friendly options, ensuring that my tiny house would not only be beautiful but also kind to the environment. The process was meticulous, but every decision felt like a step closer to my dream. I learned so much about carpentry, solar power, and composting toilets. Each new skill was a challenge, but also a triumph. Installing the solar panels was particularly rewarding, knowing that I was harnessing the power of the sun to fuel my new life. The composting toilet, though unconventional, was a testament to my commitment to sustainability. It was challenging at times, but I persevered. There were moments of frustration, like when a piece of wood just wouldn't fit, or when I was exhausted from a long day of work. But each obstacle was a lesson in patience and determination. I learned to take breaks, to step back and reassess, and to keep pushing forward. And when it was finally finished, my heart swelled with pride. Seeing the completed tiny house, standing there in all its glory, was an emotional moment. It was more than just a structure. It was a manifestation of my hard work, my dreams, and my dedication. I felt an overwhelming sense of accomplishment and joy. This tiny space, built with my own two hands, was more than just a house. It was a sanctuary, a place where I could truly be myself. Every corner was filled with personal touches, from the handmade shelves to the carefully chosen decor. It was a reflection of my personality and my values. It was a symbol of my commitment to a simpler life. In this tiny home, I found peace and contentment. The simplicity of the space allowed me to focus on what truly mattered, free from the distractions of a larger, more cluttered home. It was a reminder that happiness doesn't come from the size of your house, but from the life you build within it. Moving into my tiny house was liberating. The process of downsizing was transformative, forcing me to evaluate what was truly important. As I unpacked, I felt a sense of freedom and lightness. Each item I placed in my new home had a purpose and a place, contributing to the overall harmony of the space. I had downsized from a spacious apartment to a home less than 200 square feet. The contrast was stark, but it was exactly what I needed. Letting go of excess belongings was a cathartic experience, allowing me to focus on the essentials and embrace a minimalist lifestyle. Yet, it felt much bigger. The clever design and thoughtful layout made the tiny house feel open and airy. Large windows let in plenty of natural light, creating a sense of spaciousness that belied the home's small footprint. It was a perfect example of how less can truly be more. Every object had a purpose. Every corner sparked joy. The organization and intentionality of the space brought a sense of order and calm. Each labeled bin and carefully placed item contributed to the overall sense of well-being. My tiny house was not just a place to live, but a sanctuary where I could thrive. Living off-grid means taking responsibility for my basic needs. It's a lifestyle that demands a deep connection with the land and a commitment to sustainability. Every day, I wake up with the sun and start my routine, which revolves around ensuring that I have enough food and resources to thrive. I grow my own vegetables, forage for wild edibles, and immerse myself in the natural world. The forest becomes my pantry, offering a variety of wild edibles that change with the seasons. From mushrooms to berries, each foraging trip is an adventure and a lesson in nature's abundance. And preserve the bounty for the colder months. Canning, drying, and fermenting are essential skills that allow me to enjoy the fruits of my labor year-round. The shelves in my pantry are lined with jars of preserved vegetables, each one a testament to the hard work and dedication that goes into living sustainably. It's hard work, but incredibly rewarding. The sense of accomplishment I feel when I see my garden flourishing is unparalleled. Each plant represents hours of care and attention, and the harvest is a celebration of that effort. There's nothing quite like harvesting your own food. The connection to the earth, the satisfaction of knowing exactly where your food comes from, and the joy of eating something you've grown yourself are experiences that are hard to describe, but deeply fulfilling. The taste of a sun-ripened tomato straight from the vine is unmatched. It's a burst of flavor that's both sweet and tangy, a reminder of the simple pleasures that come from working with nature. And knowing that I'm nourishing my body with fresh, organic produce brings me immense satisfaction. Each bite is a reward for the hard work and dedication that goes into growing my own food. It's a way of life that feeds both body and soul. Beyond gardening, I've learned to bake my own bread, make jams and pickles, and create a variety of homemade goods. These activities not only provide delicious food, but also connect me to traditional practices and the rhythms of the seasons, and even craft my own herbal remedies. Using plants and herbs from my garden, I create natural remedies that support my health and well-being. This knowledge empowers me to take control of my health in a holistic way. These skills connect me to my ancestors and the rhythms of nature. They remind me of a time when people lived in harmony with the land, relying on their knowledge of plants and the environment to sustain themselves. It's a far cry from my old life of takeout dinners and grocery store convenience. Embracing this way of life has transformed my relationship with food and the environment, fostering a deeper appreciation for the natural world and the sustenance it provides. This lifestyle has had a profound impact on my well-being. I'm healthier than ever, thanks to fresh air, organic food, and daily physical activity. My mind is clearer, free from the constant distractions of city life. Living simply has also reduced my environmental impact. My tiny house uses less energy and resources than a traditional home. I compost my food waste, use a rainwater collection system, and minimize my consumption. Perhaps the most significant benefit has been the financial freedom. My expenses are significantly lower than they used to be. This allows me to work less and spend more time doing what I love, writing, hiking, and exploring. Even though I'm no longer part of the corporate world, I haven't stopped working altogether. I've found fulfilling ways to generate income that align with my values and allow me to share my passions with others. I teach online courses on minimalism, simple living, and tiny house design. I also give presentations at events and workshops, inspiring others to embrace a more intentional way of life. Additionally, I rent out my old apartment, which provides a steady stream of passive income. This financial stability allows me to pursue my creative endeavors without feeling pressured to constantly hustle. One of the most rewarding aspects of my new life is the opportunity to give back to my community. I volunteer at the local food bank, helping to provide fresh produce to those in need. I also share my gardening knowledge with others, teaching workshops on organic gardening and seed saving. It brings me joy to empower others to grow their own food and live more sustainably. These acts of service fill me with a sense of purpose that extends beyond my own needs. It's a reminder that we are all interconnected and that even small acts of kindness can make a big difference. Living in a tiny house off-grid has been transformative. It has taught me the true meaning of freedom, the freedom to design a life that aligns with my values, to connect with nature, and to live with intention. It hasn't always been easy, but the rewards have been immeasurable. I am healthier, happier, and more fulfilled than I ever thought possible. I have found true joy in simplicity. If you are feeling unfulfilled or trapped by the conventions of modern life, I encourage you to explore alternative ways of living. Downsizing, simplifying, and connecting with nature might be the key to unlocking a life you love. The journey to tiny living is unique for everyone. Start by decluttering your belongings and assessing your true needs. Research different tiny house designs and consider what would work best for your lifestyle. Don't be afraid to ask for help. There are countless resources available online and within the tiny house community. And most importantly, trust your intuition and follow your heart. Living tiny isn't just about downsizing your living space, it's about expanding your life. It's about creating a life of intention, purpose, and joy. It's about choosing to live in alignment with your values, one tiny step at a time. Take the leap and embrace the beauty of a simpler life.